Hey, Alex, how you doing? Okay, let's go and take a look at your work. Writing makes great sense. Good job. Really great job on your writing here, your written description. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and jump over to the example. Okay, this is attractive. There's no question. I mean, it's very, very nice. It's enjoyable. I think it's pretty comfortable to look at. Let me just reduce the size a little bit here. But as far as a logo goes, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sold on it. And I had mentioned this a couple of times before, but let me give you my specific reasoning. I don't think this indicates Alex Xline the way it should. I think this can be construed in so many different ways. I think one of the biggest problems is that you've got this oblique type with this specialized typeface. So what happens here is with the oblique, which means italic, what's happening is that the counter form in between the L, wherever the L is, since that is oblique and you've got this kind of a reversed angle from the oblique, it creates this big wide open space here and here, and it's difficult to read. To me, when I read this, I still see Al, E, L, and Ein. So it's really difficult to enunciate and to phonetically decipher your name here. So and also there's a couple of really super minute details in here. And I think one of the main things is that at some point in time, the logo is going to be have to present it in one color or black on white. And if that's the case, I'm not talking about grayscale, I'm talking about black on white. This is impossible to duplicate as one color black on white because you've got this whole background here. So if we just converted this all to black, you're just going to see this, right? So, and plus all the background, all of these little details in the background, they're all going to disappear when we, okay, see how, I mean, that's as small as I can really get it. But the logo, of course, is going to be visible, viewed and needed in areas that are going to require it to be much smaller. We don't see any of that, right? We don't see any of that at all. So why include it if we're not going to see it when scaling? It's also could possibly and potentially be production issues with all of these fine little details. Now, one thing I would recommend, and you're free to pursue any direction you want, but what I would recommend is this. You've got actually you included the icon. I think the icon is effective. I really do. I think this could possibly work as your logo. What you could theoretically do with your icon is this: is you could use the X, okay, as your logo mark, right? Then next to the X, write your name, Alex Xline, and then whatever your discipline is. Forgive me, but it's like game development, I think. So Alex Xline, game developer, where Alex Xline is larger, and then game developer is a little bit smaller, maybe over on the side. Or okay, so here's your name, then game development right here, or however you want to configure that. But I think using the icon in addition with your first name is going to eliminate any possible confusion there is and create a really strong tie between the mark and your name, and that's what you want in branding. Okay, as I said, you're free to pursue any direction that you feel has the most potential. So yeah, if you want to continue working on this or whatever, you know what, I also mention something else, that gradients sometimes can be problematic in logo design. Again, for one of the reasons being is that, again, it's going to have to, at one point in time, be presented as black on white or a one color logo. So that could be problematic therein. Okay, thanks so much for sharing. I mean, as I said, it's an attractive piece. The amount of work that went into this is pretty impressive. But as far as suitable for a branding logo, I think that we could possibly and potentially introduce some improvements, and those recommendations are the way that I would go with it. So again, feel free to pursue any direction that you feel has the greatest potential. And if you want to keep working on this and resubmit, go right ahead. I'll be glad to provide additional comments and recommendations. All right, great job. Thanks, Alex.